Right, hello everyone. Welcome to Wheelspin Racing League's round 2 of the new season on F122. We're at Australia for a full qualifying followed by a 50% race. Always do full qualifying if it's over 15. I think it is. Bob can confirm that for me. I think it's over 15. So last I saw we had 18 on the grid. I don't know if anybody joined. I quickly made myself a coffee so someone else might have joined in between. Thanks to everyone that's joined already. Very much appreciated, guys, and let's hope we're in for a good race tonight. It was a good start to the season last week. We've got our current champion, TTV Glads, is on track. The previous season's champion, Winter Place, is on track, as are all the new big contenders for the title. Last week's race was very close. To be quite honest, there could have been one of about 8 drivers could have won last week's race. So let's hope that tonight's race goes the same way. It's 19 on track, although I've just seen Idle North pop up, so I think we're going to have 20 in the end, which is brilliant. No need for tyres this year, of course, because it's all soft tyres for qualifying. Let's get the lap delta, full track map and the telemetry. Excellent. There we have it. Who's going to be first to act? I can hear an engine. There they are. Who's that? I think it might have been Shamrock. Oh, but somebody else was there. Who's that? So it looks like Matex is first out on track then. Obviously a completely different track to last week. Street circuit in Australia. Difficult. It's always been difficult, Australia, because it's very easy to spin, to lose it. If you spin and lose it, you're going to hit a wall. There's not much you can do about it. But usually, though, I have to say Australia does usually bring up a good race. Hey, JMB, congratulations on your championship in the Under-18s League, buddy. And not just that, your debut in the Adult League as well this week, where you got your first win on just your second race and actually finished first in your first race, but still ended up with a podium due to penalties. But yeah, awesome little driver, man. So Matex first on track. Showed very clearly last week that he's someone that can fight up the front and be someone near the front and qualifying as well. Unfortunately, if memory serves me right, last week he didn't fare too well in the race. He did finish, did pick up points, but if I remember rightly, things went wrong at the start and he ended up a bit further down the order than would usually be expected. But let's see what sort of time he can put in, what sort of benchmark he can lay down for the rest of the field. Certainly a track that can take you a few laps to get into the swing of it and get your proper, so much the braking points. Braking points are relatively easy around here. It's more the turn-in points and corner exit that, as you can see, Matex is just invalidated. So let's go to, I think it's a Haas on track next. It's not Winter Place though, who's the other half? Simlino. So let's get out of the way, buddy. He does in the end. Hopefully he didn't get in Simlino's way too much there. And Simlino will have the honour of laying down the first lap time. That's a corner that's changed a bit this year, a lot much tighter than it was previous years. Previous years you can really attack it, really hit the curb and no issues. You can't really use the inside curb anymore, not properly. Or from what I've experienced in a way. As Lino crosses the line then, it's an 18.4 to get us underway. Nice start from Lino. And there's a McLaren there, that's Tesco on his way round. Not going to beat the 18.4, but he gets started with a 20.7. Greg 2B. Just call him Greg. On his way round as well. Again, going to be 1 this time, 21-1 for Greg. We're going to get a few more starting to come over, and that the line now. Oh, Winter Place is pitted. Sky Pele's crossed on a 21-9. Who's that? That's Curly. Let's stick with Curly then in the Alpine. Tommy Real goes fastest, 118.4 as well. Bob Dylan's across on a 20.7. Curly then a 19.8. Mohawk Jack an 18.7. Glad's invalidated. Matex invalidated his next attempt as well. See, Red's invalidated. A lot of invalidations. Sky Snizzle Me Dizzle. That's what I'm going to call him. He's got traffic all over the place here. This is not useful, and I think that's ruined his lap. Well, that's a bit silly. Snizzy. That's a bit silly. You clearly hadn't realised. You clearly didn't realise you're on a hot lap. So to stick your wing in there and lose your end plate, it's a bit silly, let's be honest. But that was a clear impeding in the hot lap then. JD Racer across the line, 19.4 goes up to P4. It's really hard to know at the moment, this early in the game, it's really hard to know what sort of times you're going to be safe on. From what we're seeing so far, I think you're probably going to be safe if you're in the 119s for Q1. It's really hard to know though. So did Sky Snizzle with Dizzle carry on? No, he's into the pits, okay. Mohawk is into the pits. Who's this? This is Curly, Well Down, Soap McPhoenix. Great names, I must admit, in WRL. Who's that car that's coming round? That's Reds. So, yeah, Reds is on a lap. With his energy turned off. Anybody told him he's got his energy turned off? Oh, he's heading into the pits, that's why. This is JD Racer, he's just done a lap, so... Oh, who be that? That's Soap McPhoenix, he's been round in turn 1. Turn 2. Off he goes again. So main thing is he hasn't hit a wall and retired. So he's still with us. Tesco is on an out lap. Anybody who's not on an out lap or an in lap. Idle Norse invalidated. Silver Eagle has been disqualified from the session. Now he's usually someone who's far up the grid. So that is a fast driver who's going to be starting from the back around a, let's be honest, a tricky circuit for making their way through the field. Axelito's joined. I'm afraid you're too late, man. I think that's a random, if I'm honest. I don't know that name from the league. So, I'm not sure. Doesn't look like we got anybody on a hot lap. Tesco's probably closest. Oh, maybe not, actually. Was that Winter Place? Yeah, so this is Winter Place starting the lap then. Usually qualifies in the top 5 as Winter Place. I would argue it's always a difficult one. What makes the best racer? Is it the one who's fastest? Is it the one who crashes the least? Is it someone who can do both? It could be one of the faster ones, but also hardly ever crash, and I would argue that that's probably the best racer on the circuit, and I think Winter Place comes under that category in Wheelspin. He's always top 5, just never seems to make, I'm going to say this, I know it's a commentator's curse thing, but he just never seems to make a mistake. Please don't crash, please don't crash. Comes up to the hairpin just before the pits and into the final corner. Always got to be a bit careful around here on traction. If you run no traction like myself, then it is a bit dodgy around there in that final corner. Up to P6 he goes on a 19.5. plenty more from him to come. I'm sure that was more a case of let's get a lap on the board for now. Sky Snizzle me dizzle. The second sector. Mostly through the S. McLaren over on the side of the track there. I don't know if he's just getting out of the way or if he's had a moment. Possibly a moment out there, to be fair. Sizzle, no dizzle then into the hairpin before the pits again. Opens up the DRS and heads for the line. Here he comes. It's a 120.5, puts him P9 for the moment. Just further around at the moment. Latex is really early on. So I think T-Reds is probably the one to watch at the moment, coming down towards this what is now a tricky right-hander. Sits in fourth. I have to hold my hands up and say I'd downshift to third around there. Short shift to fifth to allow him to get the power on. Maybe a little bit slow on the power out of the final corner, but it's good enough for P5 in a way. 19.4, I think that's probably safe for Q1. Christo. You've got Christo and Matex really close to finishing their laps. Christo heads for the line. It's decent for Christo. It's 120.3. Matex across on a 118.9. Puts him into P5. Christo did go into P9, but that drops Christo to P10. Tommy Rills opted to retire from the session. Go to Drunken Shamrock then, who I think can coming by a split time in sector 2 there. I think this must be the final sector where he made a mistake previously. Opens up the car, opens up the power, heads for the line, and it's a 119.7, which is good enough for P9. Suggested one, if you're in the 119s, you're probably safe. I think, from what we're seeing at the moment, that's probably correct. It may even be a bit higher than that. Tesco currently in 16th on a 120.7. And with Silver Eagle being disqualified, that's one already out, so... Well, two already out, sorry, because Tesco will be out as well. Societal North, having just started his lap. So the only one still running that is yet to get a time on the board. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the first session. Through, squeezes off a little. Oh, Bob Dylan's crashed. Bob Dylan has crashed and will be out of qualifying. It's on the that right-hander which they changed this season. It's unusual when you see someone crash on, actually. I must admit. But Bob is special. He's always been special as Bob. Sorry, Bob. North then, yellow flag still out for Bob to crash. His car has been removed, but yeah, definitely a different one to be crashing on. I'm sure he's managed that, unless he's just sneezed or something and completely missed the braking. It's a slight difference there. Look, Odell North gearing down to second. And hairpin, and goes 19.9 into P12. So in danger at the moment, we've got Greg. Sky Pele here, he's on a lap. But quite a way down in sector 2. He's got no energy, so I would imagine he's going to pit, get a new set of boots and get back out again. So, no. Okay, bit strange. At least get your energy turned off, Sky Pele, so you can build some back up. So I struggle to improve much with no energy. There's a few now retiring from the session, feeling they're safe. So Greg is currently P18. In order to get through, he needs to improve by 4.5 temps. And look at that, he's already gained 4 temps in sector 1. What an improvement that is. And if he can make it, just half a second should do it. If he can eat that out over the rest of the lap. He's already at 6 temps, so it's looking good. As long as, if he can improve a little bit more in the final sector, then you've got to say he's going to be pretty comfortable in the end. All looks pretty nice through there. Maybe a little bit relaxed. Looks more like he's trying not to make mistakes rather than take things quickly. But in a way, heads towards the line. And he's across on a 120.2, so it's just over a 7/10 improvement. Moves him up to P12, and in my opinion, is safe there. Sky Snizzle Me Dizzle is also improving. He looks like he's going to go a bit further up than Greg. So 119, no, 120.3. So no, he doesn't actually. He gets P14. Lost a lot of time in the final sector. But that has moved Phoenix into the drop zone. Sky Pele is still in the pits. If he comes out now, he can still get another lap in. He needs to move it. I think he is heading out. I see a car that looks the right colour heading out the pit lane. But anyway, Soakman Phoenix first. So who's the person in danger right now? Matex. Oh no, Matex retired. I didn't see that, so Matex crashed out. I assumed he'd retired in the pits, but he hasn't. He's crashed. And we'll take no for further part in qualifying. So the person actually in trouble here is Sky Snizzle Me Dizzle, who's done a 20.3, so 2 temps will do it for McPhoenix to get him ahead of him. And 1/4 of a second would just gain that extra place over Christo. And he's nearly half a second up. So that's looking more towards the flat 20, which will put him P12, so he's well on target to get through. Yeah, a little bit like what we saw with Craig. He's just looking a bit like he's being a bit sensible, a bit careful, you know, rather than pushing the limits of on the exits and stuff like that. He's just getting the car around, and it's a 19.8, which is comfortably safe then. P9. Oh, was that someone round? It was indeed. That was Ghost Rider. Who's now ghosting. Be careful driving backwards in F122. So he gets well out of the way. Right. So Sky Pele didn't come out then. It wasn't his car that I saw exiting. And Snizzle Me Dizzle's in the pit, so that is it, really. There's people still on track, but the people that are in the drop zone are not on track, so they can't improve. So it will be Sky Snizzle Me Dizzle, Bob Dylan, Tesco, Sky Pele, Silver Eagle, and let's not forget Matex then, leaving us in Q1. So we'll have 14 on track in Q2. Vying to get into the pole position shootout in the 3rd session. Anybody still out on track now? It's more about maybe a little bit of practice, getting the eye in a little bit more. This is Christo in the Ferrari. It's a bit of curb on there. It didn't seem to affect him too badly. It seemed okay. There is a sector 3 yellow that's just ahead of us. But whoever it was, I think it's a Red Bull. I think it was JD Racer. It's going again in a way. Christo's into the pits, not bothering to finish the lap. Ghost Rider, we saw spin, so he's well down. Idle North. Yeah, this looks like it might be quicker from Idle North. It is indeed. Increased by nearly half a second, up to a 19.4, which was good enough for P7. So, all in all, it's looking close. I wouldn't like to call who we're going to lose in the next qualifying session, because Greg and Christo, I am positive, have got more in them than they've done. I really don't know about Curly. He was on track last week, but I've not seen enough to sort of make any suggestions. Ghost Rider's definitely capable of better than that. And again, same with Soap as Curly. I've not really seen enough of him to know. So, but the truth is, I suspect all the drivers have got more in them than what we've seen there. Because it's more about just getting that time on the board that's going to get you through. Matex says, I'm stupid. Oh, Matex, you were comfortable, easily through. Said a 119 would be good enough. You're in the lower 118s. Surprised at that, mate. But never mind. No points for qualifying, mate. Unless it's sprint qualifying, then you get points. But there we go. Right, okay. Tommy Rill in the end through was fastest. Simlino second. I'm not going to go through the whole order. Just confirm that we have lost Matex, Skysoners on with Dizzle, Bob Dylan, Tesco, Pele and Silver Eagle, who was disqualified for some reason from qualifying 1. But I would say anyone, well, from 8th down to 14th is covered by 8 temps, and I'm pretty sure, well, Winter Place can improve on what he's done there, and I'm pretty sure everyone below him can as well, so I honestly don't know who to call for possibly dropping out in this session. I think it could be anyone, to be quite honest. Oh, you forgot it was Q1, Q2, Q3? Oh dear. Yeah, it's all... I can't remember what it's over, mate, if it's over 15, is it? I think... Can't remember. Again, don't need tyres, so... Let's just do that. Oh, I can hear an engine already. Someone's getting out quick. Who's that then? That looked like a McLaren to me. There's only one McLaren, which is Drunken Shamrock, but an Alfa Romeo I think's just beat him out. Is it an Alfa Romeo? Or was it a Haas? It was a Haas. It was Simlino. Always get Haas and Alfa Romeo mixed up. I don't know why. It's feeling a bit close. Might want to give themselves a bit of room before the end of the lap. I forgot to put sugar in my coffee. It's never good. So, Simlino again then set the initial benchmark in the previous session after an invalidation from Matex. But this time actually out on track first, so we'll get that honour again, as long as he don't make any mistakes. If you guys remember back to the old days a little bit when used to have the likes of Minardi on the track and other teams later on after Minardi, but always used to be a fight to get on track first, because if you were first on track you always got guaranteed television time. This was when qualifying was just an hour session and that was it, and everybody would basically do 4 runs. But yeah, everybody would fight to get out on track first, all the lower teams, so they could get a bit of airtime and gain some money off of it. Oh dear. He still can be on the podium, Matex. Oh look, I've cursed him. I've cursed Lino. He's binned it. So that makes the McLaren then a Drunken Shamrock first on track, but he's invalidated. Have I cursed everyone? Who's behind Drunken Shamrock? Oh, it's them. Who's that? That's Curly. Oh, and he's invalidated as well. They're making me cross this week, aren't they? Greg. Right, Greg. Please don't invalidate. Interesting to see what you do, Matex. And not just you as well. Silver Eagle as well. Interesting to see what you do to choose to do to try and get through the field. I'm wondering if you might attempt a two-stop, so do a soft, medium strategy. Whereas well, generally these days you think most of the field are going to opt for the one-stop, medium to hard, or hard to medium, whichever way around they want to do, but obviously it only takes a safety car to completely mess it up at the wrong time. So in a way, Ghost Rider actually goes fastest, 1:19.7. Greg did a 20.1, so that time already better than Greg managed in Q1. Mohawk's crossed the line on a 19.2. Who'd be this? This is Glads. So again, our current champion. So possible, Latex, someone with your pace might be able to make it work, but you could also just get stuck. That's the problem with a tracker like this. It's not the easiest overtaking track, so what you could consider doing is doing a short soft stint to start with, pit early, and then look for an undercut to gain places. But I don't know, it's up to you. I shouldn't be telling you this in a way. I do 100% races on my team, as Gladsari went into P2 there, 118.4. But Matex, I do 100% races on my team, and the recommended strategy for Australia was soft, medium. Soft, medium. It was a 4-stop strategy. That was the recommended, as that is Reds into the... And that is the end of qualifying for him. Red Bull has gotten stuck behind. Just pulling over and making sure he's okay. That's really good of... I think it's JD Racer. Yeah, that was JD. Just pulling over to make sure he's okay. It was a big shunt. Good sportsmanship from JD. No front wing on that Merc. He's used too much soap with Soap at Phoenix. Wings falling off. To win, I'll need 3 safety cars and 19 DNFs. Don't be silly. It's not necessarily from after you qualify. I'm not necessarily about winning today, but getting the best result you can. Soap at Phoenix then. Curly back onto a lap. Let's watch Curly in the Alpine. Really good car this year, the Alpine. I don't know if any of you out there do any realistic leagues, but oh, he's invalidated. Don't know if any of you out there do any realistic leagues at all, but it's a realistic performance. But the Alpine is an absolute dream to drive this year in the realistic leagues. Unfortunately, I drew the Alpine for 2021, which was absolutely useless. But this year, it's a bit of a dream to drive, I must admit. So, Simlino looks much better on this lap. The defined racing line. Seems to be heading for the pits, the racing line. So, into the home straight comes Lino. He crosses the line on a 118.1. Now that's a nice lap from Lino. That shows a lot more than he did in Q1. So really nice. It certainly shows that we're heading for a 117 for pole. something in the final session. Struggling a bit now. Nobody really out on track. Ghost Rider is on an out lap, so we may as well move to him because he'll be next to start a hot lap. Has a 19.7 currently on the board. That would be why he's out again, because I don't think anybody would feel comfortably safe and through on 19.7. I think you need to be below 19.5 at least to potentially be. If I quit, do I start 15th? If you DNF, yeah, you are 15th on the grid, Matex. So, yeah, qualified, you get put automatically to the back, but at DNF, you will start 15th because your time was faster than the guys below that, who were also eliminated. So Ghost Rider then, just coming up towards the end of Sector 1. Half a tenth up. So a nice start to the lap from Ghost Rider. Second sector is, let's be honest, it's the one corner really, isn't it? And it's just a huge long straight down towards the S. He's 3/4 of a tenth up in the second sector. One's a bit wide there, but doesn't invalidate. It's all good. And down to this new tighter right-hander than last season, which is kind of cool. It adds makes it a bit more challenging. Nicely through there, through the hairpin. Oh, he's run wide out the hairpin, and that's invalidated. So straight into the pits he comes. It's a shame. He was on for an improvement there. Soap McPhoenix then has started his lap. Soap McPhoenix currently in P8, but a lot of drivers not getting a time on the board on their first runs for some reason. A lot of invalidations. Maybe a few nerves out there in the second race of the season. People want to do well, they want to show they're capable. I think particularly, well, I couldn't believe the sign up when I looked at it before the race. 22 people signed up for tonight, which is superb. Unfortunate for the two reserves that must have signed up, but sure other weeks they will get a drive. So Phoenix then into the final corner. Comfortable on the power coming out. I don't know whether he's running traction or not, but no issues getting on the power. 120.2 then. He's going to have to improve on that to get through. Idle North has invalidated again. So is Curly. Must have invalidated that the final corner. She's invalidated the next lap as well. Christo then is on a lap. Just come through sector 2. Heading down towards the right-hander. Soft. Wet, medium. Yeah, don't ask Jeff. Just don't ask Jeff. So Christo ahead to the line, and it's a 120.5. So again, we'll need to improve on that to get through, I'm sure. Idle North has gone on to another lap. Let's just go to Drunken Shamrock. Is he a bit further around? Yeah, Drunken Shamrock's into the final part of the track. Oh, but he's coming into, of course he's coming into the pits. Woodbeaks have started watching him. So Idle North it is then. His way round. My graphic shows he went purple in sector 1. You can't always, no offence to Idle North, but you can't always trust that graphic. It seems to go purple almost every time. So Idle North through sector 2. He doesn't have a time on a board yet, so we've got no split times, unfortunately. The only thing we do know is that Reds will start from P14, assuming that Curly sticks a time on the board. If he doesn't, T-Reds will start ahead of him. So So Idle North opens up the DRS, heads to the line, and it's a 1:19.4. That's a nice lap from Idle North. And goes P6 just behind his teammate in P5. Good work from the Alfa Romeos. And Curly was on track, but he's hit a wall. He is out. Just down here. That is an unbelievable place to hit a wall. It's effectively a straight. How'd you hit a wall around there, Curly? It's a bit different. So McPhoenix looks like he's recharged and is going again. 3 attempts up. We will only lose 2 drivers now out of this qualifying session. So Soap and Christo are the ones that are in a spot of bother at the moment. But Greg is back out on track as well, because he certainly can't rely on a 20.1 to get him through. Said drivers shouldn't feel safe unless they're below 19.5 at the start of the session. Still think that's fair. So Phoenix over the line, it's a 1:19.9. Now that moves him ahead of Greg into P10. Let's see what Greg's doing in response. He's actually down by nearly 2 attempts at the end of the second sector. There is no time left to do a cool down lap, so he's just gonna have to try again. All this fuel light is flashing like mad, so I'm not sure he's got enough fuel to try again. Through the final corner, opens it up. And across the line, a 1:20.1. Unfortunately, he's only 14 thousandths off improving, but that means that Greg is out of qualifying. Christo is on an out lap. So McPhoenix looks like he had a go at going again, but he's out of energy heading down the straight, so he's backed out. Ghost Rider still a 1:19.789. I think that's safe. Well, it is safe, 100%. So no need to watch the guys in the top 10 anymore. It's all about Christo. Is he allowing himself enough time? No. Oh, right. No, he must have lost it. I'm not sure what happened there. I don't think he got across the line in time. That's the only thing I can assume. So that is it then. So we're losing Greg, Christo, T-Reds and Curly from Q2. And so into the top 10 shootout. The shootout for pole position go Soap McPhoenix, who had a fine improvement at the end there to get himself through. Ghost Rider, Drunken Shamrock, Idle North, Mohawk Jack, Winter Place, JD Racer, TTB Glads, Leno and Tommy Real. So yeah, mate, your Q1 time would have had you either 3rd or 4th there, wouldn't it? I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was 18.4 something, wasn't it? So you'd have been comfortably through as well, I think. Never mind. Sorry, I don't mean to rub salt into the wind. So I think going into the final qualifying, Tommy Real is probably going in as favourite for pole, not just because he set the fastest time there, but he is genuinely a quick lad, so I would say probably his favourite to take the pole position. But Leno is certainly showing with his 1:18.1 in the end there what he's capable of as well when he can put a lap together. Looking at our champions, TTB Glads in P3 there and Winter Place in P5. So, and Drunken Shamrock, who was second in the title race last season, in P6. So again, looking at Shamrock's time, 1:19.2, I'm confident he can get into the 1:18s. I don't think we're seeing the absolute fastest he can manage or muster. Should be an interesting final qualifying session, I think. It looks like we might have 2 groups of drivers. We might have the ones that are vying for the top 5. and then a second group that's are vying more for 6th to 10th. But we'll see. There's always that chance that a driver surprises you in Q3, and that there always tends to be one actually that qualifies that bit higher than would maybe expect. Similino, unfortunately, has just dropped out of the session. I'll invite him back as soon as we come up, if I can. Similino, view gamer card. Oh no, I can't view his gamer card. He'll have to get back in himself because I can't do anything there unless I can find him. Must be him. So, yeah, invited him back. Right, who's out on track is Drunken Shamrock is out first. Let's go to him. Let's take the telemetry. I think due to the nature of the length of the track, probably only see 2 runs from most of the drivers. I think you can do 3. If you literally get out, do a run, get back, do another run, and then get back again, I think you can probably squeeze a third in here. So we'll see if they do that, or whether they just concentrate on the 2 runs instead. So then, Drunken Shamrock just coming through the final few corners, and he will be, hopefully, will be first to set a time for us. No excuse now from the drivers, really. The top 10, they've had enough track time to get their eye in now. So 2 and 1, all look pretty neat and tidy. Shamrock heads down. It was interesting to see how people take that corner. Some people brake a little bit later, gear down to 2nd for that hairpin. Others brake slightly earlier, but only gear down to 3rd. Personally, I'm a gear down to 3rd on that one. Similino has joined. Excellent. The only one still sat in the pits, but yeah, it's quick to get out without being in people's way or having people. Unfortunately, that is something we have seen a little bit on 22, although we saw it on 21 as well. Was a lot of well, there's been a lot of people dropping out of lobbies, but I suppose that's just the nature of online play. There's little things you can do to give yourself the best chance of not dropping out of lobbies. Drunken Shamrock heads to the line to set our first time then. So 1:20.0. There was a Haas next I couldn't get to in time, but that was Winter Place already improving look on an 18.7. CT with Glass across the line, 1:18.0 to go provisional pole. Who was this? Sorry, this is Soap Phoenix on his way round. This looks like a better lap from Soap than he managed in the last qualifying, is it? Just a bit off actually. 1:20.0 as well though. Puts him in P4 for the moment. Ghost Rider 1:20.9. Mohawk Jack's just about to cross the line. He must have been validated because it's not giving him a time, but Idle North on his way. 1:20.2, so goes P6. Looks like Tommy Real and JD Racer backed out of their laps and have pitted. So, and Similino is now on an out lap, so he's still going to be able to get 2 runs in. So he's not lost anything. That's good. So, will I be right in saying that we'll see a 1:17 for pole? Prediction. I'm going to predict a 1:17.7 will be the pole position time tonight. So he opens up ZDRS into the right-hander. There you are, so Jack goes down to third like myself. We have seen 102 taking it in fourth instead, so it seems to be a little bit of a split. It's just generally a style of racing. It's not. It doesn't really make any difference. And Mohawk Jack is across the line then on a 1:18.4. This is Soap McPhoenix coming across the line again. Well down. Obviously, he was doing a recharge lap. Let's go to the next one. Idle Norse into the pits. Simlino on an out lap, just about to cross the line. Let's go to. Well, let's go back to Soap because no, sorry, he's doing a cool down, isn't he? So let's go to Simlino then. I believe he's the only one on an actual hot lap at the moment. So into right-hander in this difficult section of the track. I think probably technically the most difficult section of the track there. Multiple places you can lose it off a curb with a little bit too much power or too much throttle, or the right amount of throttle but a bit too much steering input. Either will do it. Sim heads down towards the end of sector 2. If you look at the map on sector 2, it doesn't look like what I said when I said this. It's just a right-hander followed by a long straight. It doesn't look anything like a long straight, but it is effectively. The car going into pits is well out the way in time. No interference there. Simlino heads to the line then, and it's a 1:18.2, which puts him P2 for the moment. Let's go then to Tommy Rill, who's purple through the second sector. And he's on track early enough that something doesn't go right here, he can still make it back to the pits and get out again. So it's not do or die just yet, but he looks like he's on a good lap to me. I think maybe just got a bit too much inside curb on there. And actually backs out into the pits. I think he was looking very good until sector 3. There's just a few mistakes in sector 3. It meant he'd rather back out of the lap. Just having a look down. JD Racer has gone 1:18.7 and into P4 then. Winter Place is on a lap, so let's go to Winter Place. Currently on a 1:18.743. Would gain half a tenth will comfortably gain him in P4. Let's see what his time's like at the Sector 2 split, which just gone up to, so it's a couple of temps up. Oh, but he has a big moment out of the S, and I would suggest that was probably ruined his lap time. I don't know if I can see it on the dash. I can't. We'll soon see. If he goes to the line, if he goes to the pits, it's completely ruined his time. If he heads around the final corner, then it probably hasn't. And into the pits he comes. So who's the car behind him? Looks like it's a Red Bull. It's JD Racer who's into the pits. Drunken Shamrock then. Fortunately, it didn't give me his split 2 time. And the quick right-hander looked very nice through there. Gets a little bit of grass on the braking zone for the hairpin, which I think made him run a little bit wide on exit. But didn't look too bad. Heads to the line. And it's a 1:18.6. Improves by 1.3 seconds. Up into P4. Much, much better from Shamrock. Ghost Rider also on an improvement. 3.5 temps as it stands at the moment. Would see him ahead of Soap Phoenix. So this is where I was talking about the split between drivers, and maybe it went a top 5 and a bottom 5, but does just seem like there's a little bit of a split. These guys are fighting for P7. So Ghost Rider takes that P7 with a 119.2. Nice lap, Ghost Rider. So I think it's just coming up to the end of Sector 1 now, and is a tenth and a half up. All in all, to get that place back from Ghost Rider, he basically needs to find just over 8 temps. Right, 8.5 temps. All in all through the lap, so see how we can do it. The top 3 back out on 8 laps, by the way, and JD Racer in 5 as well. So I'll keep an eye on those guys. Soap. Into this tricky end to the lap. Through the final corner, head to the line. Can he improve at all? He does. He improves to a 19.4. He stays P8, but that's a drastic improvement. 6 temps will help protect him from Idle North and, well, potentially Tommy Rill, but Tommy is out on a lap now. Oh, Simlino has retired from the session. That's in the pits. So perhaps used all his tyres now and doesn't see much point in going back out. Idle North. Then just watch Idle North to the line and then move to the guys vying for pole position. Tommy Rill goes fast. This is the 1:17.891. Yay! And Idle North improves by 1.1 seconds and goes up to P8. Displaces Ghost Rider. So Glads is improving through Sector 2. Can he gain any more in the final sector? Can he take pole position? Oh no, he must have really lost it in the final sector. He's up 6 seconds down. Mohawk Jack has invalidated his lap. Drunken Shamrock then is 2 temps down. JD, I didn't get JD's split time then, so I'm not sure. Well, stick with Drunken Shamrock then. See him to the end of the lap. Through the final corner, heads for the line, opens up DRS. It's a 1:18.9 from the 3 temps down. And JD Reeser improves to P4, 4 tenth improvement, 1:18.308. Mohawk Jack. He'd invalidated his lap, but he did a 17.7 then. I don't know if he cut any corners doing that. Oh, and Winter places round out of the final corner. Oh, damn it. He'd be saying, don't know if he was on improvement or not. I don't know what's invalidated. So I think that is it. TTV Glads is up. He looks like he's going slow now. But he was improving out of Sector 2. He was on target for a 1:17.8. He was definitely challenging pole position out of Sector 2. Obviously made a mistake in Sector 3 and has backed out. So it looks like, well, it doesn't look like it. It is Tommy Rill on pole position. He did get into the 1:17s for me. See, I'm not completely mad when I say these things, you know. 1:17.8 from Tommy Rill takes pole position. TTV Glads P2, our current champion, doing his best to defend that title. Simolino for Haas P3, a brilliant qualifying for him. I'll count down the rest of the top 10 in just a moment. I'll then take a short break to refill my coffee. And right, so JD Racer P4, Mohawk Jack P5, Drunken Shamrock P6, Winter Place 7, 8 Rider 9, and Soak McPhoenix fills out the top 10. Well done to those guys. And shaping up for what could be a good race. These top 5, well, I think top 7 are all close enough to each other to really bother each other throughout the race. Incidents depending, of course, but we shall see. And as I say, there's always someone that throws a spanner in the works as well and does better than you expect. So we shall see that. But in a way, guys, I'm going to head for a quick break while the drivers take their break and refill my coffee, and I'll be back with you as quick as I can for the race. Okay, looks like you want much of a break. I've got my coffee anyway, so let's get some details up. I don't know if somebody readied up early. Right, okay. I was just checking through the Discord just in case there was an early ready up which was causing a restart, but doesn't look like it. Looks like we're going ahead. Nothing said, so drivers taking their grid slots. To do this manually now, of course, so it's always fun to see how many get disqualified for overshooting. And it looks like the two, Slope and Greg, but they are back and we are ready to go. Surely you can give me a better angle than that, code is. Let's go on board then. Out go the lights. We're on board with Simlino for the start. He gets a really good launch and gets ahead of Glads. Well, we've lost Mohawk Jack on the straight. I mean, what is going on there? Sopa Phoenix is round as well and has lost a wing. The safety car is coming out. Which we see him. Well, it looks to me like Mohawk Jack didn't get off the line. entirely sure what's happened there, but it did look like he didn't get off the line, going by where the car was. So I'm not sure to see what's happened. If he didn't get off the line, it's quite possible, so he may have hit the back of him or something like that, which is what's caused him the wing damage. But obviously he'll be able to pit and get rid of that and get going again. It's not a huge issue. Let's just have a look at position gainers off the start. Biggest gain is our boss man Bob Dylan, up 6 places from the start. Tesco's gained 3, as has Christo. Quite a few have gained 2, and a few more gained 1. Our biggest loser off the start is obviously St. Phoenix after the contact. Hurley's lost a couple, Reds has lost 1, and Glad's lost 1. But other than that, good starts all round, really, apart from the 1. Just looking at the penalties as well, because they're all 5-second penalties. So are we going to see everybody who's got a... Oh, Sky Snizzle with Dizzle's just managed to pick up an extra 5 seconds speeding into the pit lane. That's not what you want to do. You're under safety car, you don't even need to enter the pit lane quick. So he needed a new wing, he needed to get rid of 5 seconds. He gets rid of 5 seconds, gets a new wing, but picks up another 5 seconds. Matex gets rid of his 5, and is on his way back out. Greg has opted to stay out despite the 5 seconds. Maybe thinks there'll be another opportunity later on, which is quite possible. Let's just have a look at tyres then. So Tommy Real leading the way has opted for mediums for the first stint. Similarly, hards. Glads and JD Racer have opted for mediums. Winter Place has gone another way. He's gone with softs. That's a bit different. To be fair, you can manage one stop on soft hard around here. So, or we might be trying something different and going with a 2-stop. Drunken Shamrock Cards, then medium. So Christo, Bob Dylan, Sky Pele, Soap, McPhoenix, all on softs. So they're all potentially trying something different to everyone else then, which is always worth a punt. I suppose the big question here could be, if there were to be no more safety cars, could the likes of Matex, Snizzle Midizzle, T-Reds potentially do the whole of the rest of the race on the hard tyres they've gone on to? I mean, hard tyres generally can do a whole race, can't they? So if they're looked after, so potentially no more safety cars. Could all this play into their hands in the end? So I think we'll get going again next lap. Don't know if Soap's pitted or not. He hasn't. So nobody in the pits. Soap will be last in line, but he will catch the pack. Fortunately, oh no, what's happened? Simlino lost it under safety car. Oh, Sim, you can't be resetting to track in a race, man. Yeah, you can't reset to track in a race, Simlino. Then, if you've got to recover that car properly, Soap McPhoenix probably goes ahead of you there. Not really fair. That'll be up to the stewards to look at. So there's the confirmation safety car in this lap. So Tommy Real leads the way from TTV Glads, JD Racer in P3. Winter Place P4. I think maybe Simulator might have reset to track there because of the risk of the game disqualifying if you head the wrong way. Yeah. Maybe that's what if the stewards ask, that might be what he puts to them, because there's a genuine risk of that. I think we all know that. So we see them all waving about. Was that Tommy Real going early? It looked like it was. And he did. And that has completely caught the rest out. That's just stayed with him a little bit, but completely caught JD Racer off guard. Triple A seems to be a bit more with it. So he's right under the gearbox of JD Racer. Can he get a better exit here for a potential overtake into the hairpin? Doesn't look like it. Oh, Tommy Reel's round. Rejoins. Looks like a penalty as well, as the Snizzle Me Dizzle. Look at Winter Place gaining. It's using the energy, but it's also superior grip. Those soft tyres. Nice to do that. They're still side by side. In through the yes. Oh, there's contact. And round goes Winter Place. I think Winter Place probably felt he had that move done going into the S. I don't know if he realised JD was still there. That is obviously going to have a big effect on Winter Place race. Stone. Stone, meanwhile, just heading up the rankings, heading up the standings, table, whatever. That sets the first slap of the race. He's pulled out a second, you know, Glads. But this is, of course, Red Bull 1-2 at the moment. There could be an element of JD Racer being able to protect Glads here, but on the other hand, with it only being race number 2 of the season, would JD Racer really be willing to give up a potential race win to do that this early? Snizzle Me Dizzle picks up another 3-second penalty. Let's just go down to Christo's on the back of Idle North, who in turn is on the back of Ghost Rider. These guys all benefiting. Oh, and there's contact. That's Ghost Rider and Idle North. That looked a bit silly, if I'm honest. First reactions. Looked to me like Idle North didn't have a front wing. Sorry, not Idle North, Ghost Rider. But he's got a front wing now, so he must have done. I just couldn't see it. Don't look like Idle North's got a front wing anymore, though. That all looks a bit silly from them, and that has caused a further full safety car. It's the only thing I have noticed on 22 this season so far is that the safety car is quick to come out on contacts like that, even though the car's not actually retired. To be fair, in real life, it's quite possible that it would cause a full safety car. So there's debris all over the track. Idle North retires from the race in the pits. Why? Just stick a new wing on and get going again. Unless he got a lot more damage, then we know perhaps the car would be undrivable. So into the pit centre, Simlino, Winter Place, Ghost Rider, Soap McPhoenix. I'm surprised not to see Sky Pele come in and take advantage and get off the softs. He ain't going to go very far, those softs, so I think you may as well take a little gamble and go on to hards. See everybody catching up. It's the 4 cars that pitted, left to catch up to the back. So Winter Place has gone to mediums. That's interesting. Would have thought he'd have gone to hards, would have potentially gone to the end. Bob Dylan's gone to a new set of mediums. Hards for Ghost Rider and Soap McPhoenix. If we were to get through with no more safety cars, that could prove vital. Also, Tommy Rill has done the same, and Christo. So into the pits now then is Sky Pele. So perhaps just wanted to get that extra lap in, one less lap of wear, as he sticks on a new set of softs. Sometimes you've got to be willing to abandon strategy, and I'm just thinking that his strategy was probably a two-stop soft medium. On the other hand, I suppose you could argue that this safety car is perfectly timed for that strategy, so yeah, maybe not. We'll soon find out from where he finishes if it's the right decision or not. So, safety cars should come in this lap. We should get going on again lap 8, which will leave us 22 laps remaining. Current leader JD Racer, Drunken Shamrock P2, so the two McLarens running 2 and 3. Greg is P4. Glads took the opportunity to pit to Hart and is P5. So, I think this race could easily end up being decided by safety cars so far. Second safety car of the race already. First one was due to a retirement. The second one due to an incident didn't cause a retirement, although Idle North then retired in the pits following the contact. Unfortunately, that does mean we've lost both Alfa Romeos, which looked very good in qualifying. They look like they're a good team. So basically, Glads would have been leading the way before the safety car. He gets first dibs, he opted to pit, which basically takes the decision out of JD Racer's hands that he stays out. So off JD Racer goes. So Drunken Shamrock reacts pretty well to that. Doesn't look like anybody's particularly got a run on the car in front of them. So away we go. Just looking back, just wondering. We've got another incident. Soap McPhoenix has definitely been round at turn 1. I don't know if he's the only one. He's definitely been round. Crystal picks up a penalty. Tommy Real still side by side with Winter Place. Both on the back of Bob Dylan. Actually, just run back a bit from Bob Dylan. Somebody having to do some defending from Winter Place. My word, that was close. Winter Place, in the end, backs out of it and isn't going to go. Well, maybe learn from earlier on and isn't going to go side by side through there. There's a McLaren round. That's Tesco from P3. He spun it on the S. Maybe cold tires catching him out a little bit. What a shame for Tesco. Such a great position for him to be in P3 on the restart. JD Racer sets the fastest lap. That is very quickly beaten by his teammate Glads. Oh, there's a little barge there from Winter Place on, I think it was Bob Dylan. Bob ran wide off track but quickly recovered it. Well done to Bob there. Could easily have been a lot worse. I'm just going to head down. We've got another battle like this going on. So this is Ghost Rider, Sky Pele and Simlino, who have caught the back of Bob Dylan as well. Silver Eagle gets a penalty. Where's Silver Eagle got to now then? Oh, word, Silver Eagle's up into P5 from 20th on the grid. What a race he's having. Curly ended up having to pit at the end of that lap. It's way out at the back. We've got a set to 2 yellow. It's Tesco again. Where is he? He's in the gravel. Oh, Winter Place is out. Ah, we've lost Winter Place. What has happened? He's lost it in the S's. Surely he didn't go side by side again with someone, and that has brought out for a full safety car, which it would do on that part of the track. So everybody who didn't pit first time round will pit second time round. Win comes JD Racer. He moves on to fresh hards. Trying to tell you who else is in, but they keep moving. Greg and Christo are in. Christo goes on to fresh mediums now. Okay, so McPhoenix is in as well. Well, one good thing is it'll allow Curly to get back up to the back of the pack when Greg's out. Greg's binned it at turn 1 into the wall under safety car. It's unreal, and Curly picks up a penalty. So, oh, Curly. So, safety car that comes up, which will allow him to get to the back of the pack, which is great news. He then picks up a drive-through penalty for speeding under said safety car. He switches to 8 lap holds, mediums. I don't know what's going on with Curly. It's just not happening, is it? He's now on 8 lap hold mediums. They won't do you much good, buddy. I suggest you pit and go back onto the hards we're on. Or even switch to softs and do a double soft stint. So, just looking who's doing what, who's on what. Sky Pele's opted for softs, which are 3 laps old now. Chris picked up another penalty, 3 seconds this time. Oh, and he's now retired out of the race. On track. Well, I mean, just what are you doing? I think sometimes, guys, I'm sorry to say this, and I'm sorry to sound a bit harsh maybe, but sometimes people need to look and say that, look, do I want to race or not? Especially when there's others knocking on the door. 22 signed up tonight, that means 2 reserves haven't got a drive tonight, and people opting to retire out of the session themselves is just not good enough. Obviously it's up for the stewards to look at, but it's just my opinion. But you know, when others are waiting in the wings for a drive and they see people just retiring because they can't be bothered to finish the race, it's not good. A quick look at the position gains. We already know Silver Eagle's going to be the biggest gainer. So Junkin Shamrock to lead this race is up 5. Glads is where he started, but on good strategy at the moment. Silver Eagle is up 17 places from the back to P3 currently. Matex and Sky Snizzle Me Dizzle both up 11 places. Tommy's lost 5. That's obviously still in recovery mode from that spin earlier. Bob Dylan up 10. Fantastic race so far from Bob. Up 1 is Ghost Rider. Down 6 is Simlino. Down 6 is JD Racer. Up 2 T-Reds. Same place as he started is Christo. Sky Pele up 6. Soak McPhoenix down 4. It felt to me like I was doing the chart countdown then. Up 10 is Bob Dylan. Severe collision with Simlino for Ghost Rider. So I'm looking at the track. I think everybody's caught up. I think safety car is coming in. It's disappeared off in front of us. So let's go to TTV Glads. So Shamrock just weighed in. He's going to go out the final corner by the looks of things. He does indeed. So off goes Glads as well. Silver Eagle, Matex all get in away nice and okay there. Matex just having a little warm of the tyres still. Looks to me like everybody's getting away okay. Yeah, and there's our last 2. Well, Simlino's pitted because he's obviously picked up that penalty which he can serve. And stick the hards onto the end. T-Reds is through. I'm not sure what happened to him as to why he's not right on the back of the pack, but hey ho. So let's go to Tommy Real then, who's currently fighting on the back of Snizzle Me Dizzle. Trying to make his way back through and see if he can still mount a challenge. There is a car round, and it's Soap McPhoenix, who's round at the end of Sector 1. He's off and running again now, so no issues there. Just pick up where he left off and get going. Really incentive for these guys that are just outside the top 10 to keep going. Clearly there's mistakes happening, clearly drivers are losing it. Maybe some drivers a little bit rusty still on F122 possibly. And mistakes are happening, so definitely incentive for those guys outside the top 10 to keep it going. Points could easily still be on offer at the moment for today. JD Racer takes the fastest lap of the race, 3.1. So he's just fallen a little bit off the back. So let's go to Ghost Rider, who is right on the gearbox of his teammate Christo. Any team orders here? This is for P9. It doesn't look like it. Oh, but Ghost Rider runs wide. Turn 3, turn 4, whichever it is. And, oh, Lino's out. We've lost Lino. Oh, I think yeah, he's been there out of, oh, it's another safety car, my word. Safety car number 4 is out. And unfortunately, Simlino's been on his own out of the final corner. You can see that on the track map. I was initially going to say that he'd done it, that he'd just driven into the pits and retired, but he hasn't. He has actually lost control out of the final corner. So, again then, we have another safety car. Again, we have another chance to make a pit stop if you're not currently on the best tyres. You've got to suggest that Silver Eagle will be one of those. Surely. Yeah, in he comes. Maytex and Snizzle Me Dizzle move up. Tommy Real decides to pit off for the hards. If you've got fresh mediums to go to, then ideal. You stick fresh mediums on now. Silver Eagle has opted to go to fresh hard, so that's okay. Not entirely sure about the others. Tommy, I think, has gone to 5-lap old mediums. Not convinced with that. Maybe okay. I'm not too sure. It's hard to tell because you know they're going to do a lap or 2 under the safety cars. So T-Reds also goes to mediums, 1 lap old, so not so bad. And well, for the first lap, that looks like that's all our pit stops, and that could be it because T-Reds isn't going to take that long to catch up. In fact, T-Reds could be on the back of them by the time they reach the S. Maybe not the S, maybe the right-hander. I don't know, it may just end up being too late for the safety car to come in. To be fair to Reds, on 1 lap on mediums, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for him personally if this safety car stayed out an extra lap. So there's the back of the pack then. So unfortunately, we are going to do a full lap under safety car with everybody caught up. While that's happening, I'm just going to grab my phone back. I'd put it on charge, so if anybody has made any comments or anything and I've missed them, I do apologise. Just going to grab it back now. Okay, so Right then, so who was that then? Ghost Rider opted to come in by the looks of it, and he's now down to 5 lap all mediums. I'm not sure how many laps this game was saying they could take mediums for. So seems a push to me. Suppose, see, these are the sorts of tracks. It's one of those tracks. If you go on a set of softs around here, it's not going to last long. You're looking at 6 laps, 7 laps, maybe an 8th. But would it then be worth just taking the extra couple of laps, do 10 on softs, and then go 19 laps on mediums? Would that end up quicker than doing medium hard? It's an interesting question. And I'm sure as we go through the season, I still think even the top guys are getting used to doing the new setups. I don't think we've seen the quickest TT times yet. I think we'll see quicker still as we go on. And I do think there's still room for a big room for improvement actually in the setups. Yeah. As there's spinning going on, and that is Drunken Shamrock. And who's the other one? Oh, is it Snizzle Me Dizzle? I think it is. Don't know how they've managed that. I mean, if you're running side by side under safety car, you're idiots, to be quite honest. It's just ridiculous. Don't run under safety car. Don't run side by side. There's no need for it. What it has done, though, is it means Glads leads this race from Matex, from Bob Dylan up into P3. What a race he's having. Good luck, Bob. Keep it going, mate. So, earlier on in chat, during the qualifying, when Matex made the mistake in Q1, he said, oh, such and such a strategy's not going to see me win this race, is it? And I said, well, you're starting 15th, maybe you're not looking at winning this race today. Well, boy, has he proved me wrong. He's in with every chance of winning this race today. So, lots of close fighting going on at the moment. Bit of a train here, obviously, on the restart, so should separate out a bit shortly. Just a shame we've ended up with quite a few safety cars. That's not a normal thing in WRL, to be honest. I would say it's a normal thing for Australia. Let's put it that way. That looks to me like Tommy Rill's having a look at Christo. Ahead he goes and takes P5 back. A good recovery drive so far from Tommy Rill. And as I say, that JD Racer gets past Bob Dylan to take P3. We may see some late pit stops for people switching to softs to the end. Potentially, we could have one more safety car. I did say this, it's assuming it's the same as 2021 where you could only have a maximum 5 safety cars in a race. We've had 4 now, so assuming the rules are the same, we can only potentially have one more. As Sector 2 brings us a yellow, it looks like an Aston Martin to me. Is that T-Reds? Yeah, he was ghosted, so it must have been T-Reds, but he's back going again. He's lost his front wing. Easily recoverable to the pits, and they even decide to carry on. It's not handling too bad. It seems to go too bad through there, and that's the sort of corner that's going to be affected most, I would say. So, TTV Glass just stretching out this lead a little bit now to Matex. It's around the 1 second mark. It's in and out of 1 second all the time. So, DRS now activated. When able, they won't get it down here, so because the activation was before the start of the lap, so the first activation will be round at after the S. Just having a look a bit further down, the 2 AlphaTauris right together on track. So this is Sky Snizzle Me Dizzle and Sky Pele. I can only assume they're both named as, I believe there is a league called Sky, I believe, so I take it they're both racing Sky. Tommy Real has just made his way past Bob Dylan. And Bob come back at him, going through the S's. He's going to pick up DRS. No chance. Come back here. It just looks to me like Tommy's just about gotten far enough ahead to stop any comeback. So it's okay though. Bob is running very, very well from where he started up to P5. Having an exceptional race so far. Still penalty free as well. It just is going to depend, I think, a bit on whether he needs to pit or not on 12 lap old mediums. 11 laps to go. I would suggest he does, but we'll find out. That's the most impressive driver on track at the moment, you've got to say, is Matex. Started down in P15, currently running P2, had to make a stop on just the second lap, I believe. No, the end of the first lap, and went to hards. Is still running on those hards, currently in P2, and they look like they are absolutely fine. He is running perfectly well to stick with Glads, so just about within the second for DRS. As you can see, picks it up there. His light is flashing, he is out of energy. Just needs to bear that in mind. TV Glads still has 70%, so you've got to think, if he so wished, he could push this gap out. It's what Glads needs to do, to be honest, because it's his teammate in P3 that's chasing after Matex, and he's obviously not doing his teammate any favours if we don't get Matex out of the DRS, so it's looking like it's all worked out again for the young man, CTV Glads. It has a way for the best drivers this game. It does seem that things do tend to work out a little bit. Hey Ghost Rider, yeah, we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 DNF. Well, yeah, 7 DNFs. They are all DNFs, there's no disqualifications. 4 safety cars, that's amounted to. Although 2 of the safety cars came out. There wasn't a retirement, as Snizzle Dizzle gets ahead of Silver Eagle. There wasn't a retirement for 2 of them, it was just due to damage and debris. And Silver Eagle is out. So, will this cause a safety car? I think this car is going to be removed before we get there with T-Reds. At the moment, it is not a safety car. There is a yellow flag at the end of Sector 1, start of Sector 2. But no safety car, so... It does look on the track map like his car is quite well removed from the track. He's over there. Yeah, he is off the track by quite a bit, so fair enough, no safety car for that. So it meant, while we were gone, Matex has dropped 2.5 seconds back. Maybe his tyres are starting to give up. Maybe he's going to have to pit for softs. Or maybe he'll just stick it out and just take whatever he can get from 15th on the grid. It's going to be a good result in a way. JD Racer, the 11 lap old Hards is reeling him in. Slowly, it is slowly. It's not as if he's absolutely flying up onto the back of Matex, but he is just gradually creeping up onto him, which suggests to me that maybe Matex shouldn't pit, because, you know, if JD Racer catches him and gets ahead of him, that's one thing. Then Tommy's another second half back, and then Bob Dylan's another 4.5 seconds back. So it looks to me, if Matex sticks those out to the end, assuming they don't completely fall off the cliff, he'll be able to hold on to at least P4. As Drunken Shamrock and Bob Dylan are side by side. Into the right-hander. We now have the sweeping right-hander. Drunken Shamrock's taking a position and moves up to 5th. Still, Bob Dylan doing a fantastic job, up 10 places. And we've got more yellow flags. Can't see who that is. Oh, it's T-Reds. It's T-Reds is out, and that is a... Well, it's a full circuit double wave yellows. I think it is a safety car. It is indeed. Right, here we go then. Here they all come. Pit, 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 all the way down. When they all get back round, everybody will pit for fresh softs, surely. If Ghost Rider's done the right thing there, he could have carried on, pitted the next lap, but doesn't really make a huge amount of difference. But just bear in mind that tyre wear is high around here on the soft tyres, so you get away with that one less lap. It's probably better. And then Soap goes and does it as well. But I know. Well, I mentioned when there was 14 drivers that the guys currently outside the top 10 just need to hang on here because drivers are making mistakes. There's now only one driver that can be outside the top 10, which is currently Soap Phoenix. Everybody potentially can pick up points here. Well, not everybody, one can, but I just mean that everybody's got the potential to. So in comes Glads, in comes Matex, in comes Racer, in comes Tommy Real, in comes Drunken Shamrock. Out stays Bob Dylan on 16 lap old mediums. You're a hero. Bob Dylan, you're officially my hero. 17 lap old mediums he's now out on. And Glad stays out. He's only on 5 lap old mediums. Sky Pele stays out on 12 lap old hards. Are these guys being heroes or zeros? What do you reckon? What do you reckon, Ghost Rider? Box, box, box. Ah, you didn't box. You didn't box. JD Racer for the win due to tyre change. Ooh. Well, it's a big gamble from Bob Dylan and TTV Glads. Obviously a lot bigger from Bob. It is a street circuit. Street circuits, we know, having position on track can be massively important, and we're not going to get going next lap, so it looks like lap 25 will be the restart lap, meaning lap 25, 26, 27, 28 and 29 remain, so 5 laps to go after the restart, I believe, when it's anybody's, to be quite honest. I mean, fair play to Bob Dylan and TCB Glads. If they feel that their tyres are still feeling good, then why not? Why not give it a go? Same for Sky Pele. If he thinks his tyres are still feeling good, then why on earth not? Well, Bob decides he's going to pit this lap, which will drop him down. I think it's going to drop him down to 10th. Don't quote me on that. This Ghost Rider hasn't actually caught the back of the pack, so he might get out ahead of Ghost Rider. Scratch that. He will get out ahead of Ghost Rider. So he's going to come out in P9. Which, to be fair to Bob, is still a good result from where he started on the grid. 16th on the grid. It's still a good result, just being in the points tonight. So, fair play to him. So, I think he's right. I think he had to pit. I don't think he could have stayed out. Obviously, a different story for Glads. Sky Pele, those are still got a good, easily enough laps left in them to go to the end. So why not give it a go? He's currently in P4. If he'd have pitted, he'd been down at the back end of the points. So yeah, I have to agree, Ghost Rider. I think you're right. I can understand Glads taking a risk because he's been leading the race all the way through. He ends up taking his pit stop, then a safety car comes out. If he pits again, he's coming out in, I don't know, P5 or 6 or whatever. Because now he's got the lead of the race, he knows he's got pace, he knows he can do this. If anybody on this track can, it's the young man. Let's put it that way. Well, I mean, I had, in regards to my commentator's driver of the day, obviously won't actually officially give it out until the end of the race, but it was between two drivers, and that was Matex and Silver Eagle, who were both having phenomenal races. Unfortunately, we've lost Silver Eagle, so at the moment it's basically a shoe-in for Matex. Touch wood. So away we go. Let's go back to Glads. There's a bit of weaving. It looked like it was all within fair parameters to me. Matex already on the attack. Glad's trying to defend. He's not using much energy to do it. Holds on to P1. Oh, and we lose Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider has lost it out of turn 2, it looks like. Oh, he's quite a bit along the straight, so maybe there was contact. Well, that means we're down to 10 runners, half the field, and everybody who finishes now will score points. So, apparently, obviously, it goes without saying Matex wants to get this move done as quick as he possibly can. Because if he can put Glads between him and JD Racer, it's going to make his life so much easier. As JD Raiden has lost the place to Drunken Shamrock. He's also coming under pressure from Christo. Ghost Rider leaves the session, disappointed in the end. Did well today, Ghost Rider. Did well in qualifying, particularly. So, Sky Snizzle Me Dizzle drops to the back, so he's had a moment. And obviously fastest laps of the race going now, but we have to go to the leaders. We have to see this battle out. Obviously the more Matex is stuck behind him, the more Drunken Shamrock can catch on to the back of Matex, the more he's held up. And if he's held up enough, JD Racer will catch back up again as well. A moment, you just feel, if TTB Glads can weather the storm of the first sort of 3 or 4 laps, then maybe you can do it. He's looking after his energy. He's not completely spunking his energy in one defensive movement. He's using it wisely. Whereas Matex has used about 15% more. It should be the other way around, so Matex should be forcing him to use his energy and not bothering using his own. Oh, and we lose Sky Snizzle. Snizzle Me Dizzle is out. He's dropped it out of the S. We will not see a safety car. We have used all 5 safety cars. It's run out of fuel, it won't come out again. So DRS is back enabled. You won't get DRS now. You won't get it here because the activation was before the start line, so the first DRS zone will be out of the S later in the lap. So this is where Glads may need to start using a bit more energy to defend this, but let's wait and see. He's done a grand job so far, I've got to say, and the fact that Drunken Shamrock's now called up to the back of Matex puts a bit of pressure on Matex as well. Yeah, no, we really don't. Ghost Rider. People in Arc already caused me enough of an headache without that. So here's the DRS zone then. This is the first opportunity under DRS. Glads puts his car in the correct spot. Matex doesn't want to give up on it, but I suggest he does here. And the last thing Matex wants to do after recovering for 15th to second is, you know, throw away a podium because of being overzealous trying to take the win. You know you can put him under the pressure, just take your time. Obviously we'll be aware though that with every lap he does, as the sets are free yellow, I'm afraid that's Bob Dylan. He's still with us, he's still alive, he's still going. And And he does recover it ahead of Sky Pele, so holds on to P8 for the moment. Shamrock picks up a penalty, didn't need that. So, yeah, Matex will be aware, of course, that with every lap he does, he's also just gradually losing a bit of time with every single lap. But he will keep this going. It looks like he's going to defend this again as he comes across to take his racing line quite fairly. As long as Matex isn't alongside, he can take the racing line back. So, he looks to try and break the toe. Matex goes to the outside. This is outstanding defending from TTV Glads, I've got to say. This is absolutely phenomenal racing. Brilliant pressure that Matex is putting on, but the defence from Glads is absolutely phenomenal. Top drawer, really is. And this is exactly why we love the game so much. This is what we like doing, this is what we like playing. These are the situations we like to be involved with. The top four within, well, a second and a half of each other, basically, to end this race. Unfortunately for Shamrock, he's the one that's picked up a penalty. He's going to drop to 5th. I don't know, he might drop to 5th. It's going to be tight, actually, between him and Christo. So let's just get the penalties up quickly. Yeah, so it's just the 3 seconds for Shamrock, 9 for Christo. Also, he won't drop from Christo because he's got 9 seconds. Tommy Real's got 8, Soap has 3, and Sky Pele has 3. But this is an absolutely fantastic win. Matex has actually dropped back. I think he's just going to... Matex will hold his hand up and say, fair play, lads. I cannot believe you have managed to defend that well for the last 5 laps. That is a phenomenal win from TTV Glads. Doing Art proud, Ghost Rider. And it's a victory for Glads in Australia. Matex takes P2. Racer will take P3. Drunken Shamrock holds on to P4 despite his penalty. Christo P5. Tommy Real 6. Soap McPhoenix comes across the line P7. After all his woes throughout the race, he actually ends up picking himself up 4 points. So it just goes to show perseverance. Don't let frustration get to you, and you do get rewarded in the end. So well done, Soap, for hanging on to that and picking that up. Bob Dylan, you've had an absolutely fantastic race. You really have. You had a little moment at the end there, but all in all, fair play to you. 1 point up into P3 from 16 on the grid at 1 point. Finished P8 with Sky Pele P9. Yeah, that was a real masterclass there, Ghost Rider, of where to put your car to defend. It really was very clean, as you say. An absolute masterclass. That was fantastic. That is why he's WRL's current champion. Not only is he a quick driver, but he shows experience of a driver way, way beyond his years. Shows experience of a driver more than double his age, to be quite honest. He's a fantastic driver. So it was definitely a gamble from him, but he knew he had pace, and I don't think people are making any assumptions in future if he ever does that again that soft tyres will just get you past him. But if anyone can do it, Matex would. And but that was truly phenomenal defending in TTV Glads. It really was. It's really hard not to give Glads the driver the day after that. But I think looking at where they started, where they finished, I think Matex has to take the driver of the day today for that performance, with Glads a close P2 on that, I think, because of the end there. But anyway, Glads wins from Matex. JD Racer fills out the podium. Drunken Shamrock P4. Christos 5. Tommy Real 6. Soap McPhoenix 7. Bob Dylan 8. Sky Pele 9. Congratulations to the 9 of you, because you all made it. and finished the race. I just about got the full 20 in there for the standings. Okay, what to say about this week's race? To sum it up, safety cars, safety cars, safety cars. Some incredible racing, some incredible defending. A lot of mistakes. Let's be honest. The standard of driving there was a bit lower than we expect from Will Spin, so it was a bit. But Australia is one of those tracks. Let's be honest about it. Australia has always been a track that causes those sorts of problems, so it's not the biggest surprise in the world. But yeah, a huge congratulations to TTV Glads on the win, and to Matex on P2. Two great results from you, and obviously JD Racer on P3 as well. I'm not going to lie, guys, I've literally got another commentary in 7 minutes' time, so I need to get moving. As always, thank you ever so much to all of you that tuned in live. Thank you to everyone that watches it back. I know a lot of you do, so thank you ever so much. It's much appreciated. Any feedback you want to give me, anything you think I can do to improve or anything like that, please message me. I'm always willing to listen. Unfortunately, at the moment, for whatever reason, the light stream that I pay for, unfortunately, doesn't seem to work on F122 at the moment. So it was that I was using for putting the standings up and stuff on the screen for you all. So I'm trying to find a way around that. I'm trying to take a look at Twitch Studio, which I've put on my laptop, but unfortunately it runs so slow, it's ridiculous. So I'm trying to figure it all out, but at the moment I just ain't got a way to do it. So there we have it. Anyway, guys, thank you ever so much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Good night, God bless, and I'll see you again soon. As I say, I'm literally back on again at 8 p.m. For HRF1. So good night. Congratulations on driver of the day, Matex, and the second place. Well done, mate. There we have it. Good night.